Prey is a brand new survival monster thriller slash movie. It's kind of hard to know what genre to put Predator films since they fall into so many of them. The film was directed by Dan Trachtenberg, and it also stars Amber Midthunder. You might remember her from Legion, and it stars Dakota Beavers in, I think, his first role ever. Fun fact about Dan Trachtenberg that had absolutely no bearing on what I think of him as a director, but he is a huge Man of Steel fan. He has tweets where he's posted a lot of praise for Man of Steel, and you know, it's just nice. It's just nice to find out certain things about people, you know? But again, that has nothing to do with what I think about him as a person or as a director. The story for Prey takes place hundreds of years before the other Predator films, and it follows a young Comanche warrior named Naru. Naru has been training pretty much her entire life to be a hunter and a warrior, and in this movie she has to go up against a predator that has been dropped down on Earth during this time. She and the rest of her Comanche tribe are forced to go up against this predator while also navigating wilderness and some other dangerous factors in order to protect her home and to save their way of life from the predator. So I have a very mixed relationship to the Predator franchise as a whole. Like, I love the original Predator. The first Predator movie is one of my favorite all-time movies. Then the other Predator movies have seen some ebb and flow in terms of my opinion. The Alien versus Predator stuff, to be honest, I could do without. Predators, which came out in 2010, I have always found that film to be underrated. The Predator, which came out in 2018, which...
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a two-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
That pretty much killed my interest in the franchise, to be honest. So I was very skeptical based off of all of that history going into this movie, but I saw the trailer, I said, okay, that looks pretty cool. Let's see what they come up with. Guys, what they have come up with is one of the best films of 2022 and one of the best Predator films that they've ever made. One of the things I love about this film and what Dan decided to do is he decided to really take it back to the basics. There's a return to the formula feeling for this Predator movie. It's set in the wild and it doesn't have a lot of other things going on. It's a very simple, basic plot. And this movie definitely brings the Predator franchise back to that survival of the fittest type of vibe. There's almost a primal tension oozing throughout this film because a lot of it is just everything stripped down to its bare basic essentials. The story, not too complicated. The Predator, it's a little bit less advanced than we're used to, but still pretty badass. You've got the Comanche people going up against the Predator and their technology is obviously not as advanced as a Predator would be. It's kind of about finding a way to survive in this movie. It's about using your cunning and it's about using your intellect, your instincts, and it's about planning, tactics, and you know, a lot of the stuff that makes you fall in love with the original Predator. Like, a lot of that spirit is infused. A lot of that would not be possible without the performances. There's actually not a lot of actors or actresses in this movie, but Amber Midthunder, she is spectacular in this movie. There's no other word to describe what she does here. She is so amazing in this movie. The character of Naru is probably one of the most badass characters that I've seen in a movie this year. She's one of my favorite characters ever now, like just off of one movie. One of the most badass and vulnerable and capable characters that I've seen in a while. I love the fact that in this movie, they show her fail, they show her stumble, they create obstacles for her to get through and to learn from. It just makes you root for the protagonist in movies so much harder when you see them fail and you see them come up short and you see that kind of drive them to become better. The Predator is badass as usual. It has a new design. I'm not necessarily in love with the design, but I think it definitely works for the movie that they were going for here. And there are some really gory Predator kills and fights and sequences involving the Predator. Predator basically is taking on all challengers in this movie, and the Predator fucks some shit up. A pretty awesome thing is that they had the wilderness and the environment act like an extra character in this movie that the main characters have to try to figure out their way around. So I like that aspect of the movie, but it just feels like that's what this franchise is supposed to be. It's supposed to be warriors and intellect clashing, cat and mouse, hunted versus hunter. Some of my favorite shots that I've seen in a movie all year. Love the way that they captured this landscape, captured the wilderness. Love the way that that added to the immersion of the movie. It's not a very long movie, so it's paced pretty well too. Two versions to watch of this movie. One is an English dub and one is the Comanche dub. Now, I've seen both versions of this movie because I wanted to enjoy the full experience. The English dub is pretty good and they speak Comanche a few times in that movie, but the Comanche dub is where it's at, man. That's just my personal opinion. Watch it how you want to watch it, but the Comanche dub, talk about immersion. Holy shit. I have minor nitpicks with a movie like this. I mean, I think the visual effects in the film could have been a little bit better. You can definitely see the strain of the budget when it comes to some of that. Maybe whatever the budget was used for this movie, like, it just feels like maybe they didn't put as much of the budget into some of that as maybe they could have, even though it's still a beautiful looking movie. I wanted the entire movie to be in Comanche. Like, I don't need a Comanche dub. Just have the entire movie be in Comanche and I would have been at home. There's a couple of plot conveniences here or there that maybe you could roll your eyes at that are very noticeable in this movie where you're kind of like, okay, that's a little bit lazy how they put that together. But to be honest, I feel like I'm scraping at the bottom of the barrel to find things wrong with this film. Prey is everything that a Predator fan, I think, would want from a Predator movie. Knockdown, drag out tension. It is beautifully shot, and that is everything that I was hoping for this movie and more. I gotta say, Prey knocked my fucking socks off. Prey was fucking awesome, an amazing addition to the Predator franchise. I am going to leave this one in Superman Prime. Have you seen Prey? What did you think about it? And what is your favorite Predator movie of all time? Give me your list in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.